and welcome to GMBN Tech Show. Coming up this week, we have a new Crank Brothers dropper lever.
Limited edition Cane Creek forks.
Ooh, and we argue about...
No, I'm not arguing with you. No, I'm not arguing.
Whether you like it or not, you're going to argue about whether upgrades are worth it.
So, Anna, I've been having a little think lately about various tech upgrades and ones that aren't really worth it. And I want to know your opinion, your thoughts.
What's thoughts? I do actually have a few that I'm quite passionate about. I don't think, so my first one is carbon bars. I think that is a tech upgrade that just isn't worth it.
Really?
Certainly on a trail and enduro bike. I've said this before. I said it recently in an Ask, actually.
Okay.
I find carbon fatiguing. It's too stiff for my liking for trail and enduro. Find it fatiguing and I want something more comfortable. And unless you're upgrading the shape and the sweep or the rise, then is it really an upgrade? Like, you're paying a lot of money for these bars. For what?
Yeah.
For what?
Weight saving, maybe?
I mean, XC is possibly the only place where I think carbon bars may be a slightly more affordable way to save some weight, but is all that money worth that extra, what,
Those
20 grams?
grammages. Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think it's worth it?
You've got me, because I do like, I like the rigidity of a carbon bar, and I do think there is a certain, depending on the bar, sort of small vibration absorption in them. And I like the direct feel you get through it, and the weight saving is a bonus. But you are right, when it comes to an unnecessary upgrade, would a lot of people even notice or get the advantages out of that? I think you might be onto something there.
Maybe. Another
thing I'm thinking is all these other aftermarket little mental mods out there that you can get. So we're talking like crazy overpriced cages for your mech and stuff like that, like carbon bottle cages. I mean, a lot of these things can be sort of carbon related actually, where a metal version works perfectly fine and we seem to do strive. I mean, I can't even talk too much because I've got like stupid like XC bikes, so this is pot, I'm calling kettle black here, but
yeah, you have got a lot of carbon cage. I'm looking at your bike over there, which has a 20 gram carbon cage on it right now.
Anna, that's 10 grams.
Oh, okay, but we're talking like the difference. So is that upgrade worth it? So
no.
For a carbon cage, it's probably around 50, 60 pounds.
Yeah, it is. They're a lot.
To get a 10 to 20 gram cage.
Yeah.
And then a plastic one is around about £6.
That's it.
And it weighs 40 grams.
Yeah, and then
is that an upgrade that's worth it?
Yeah. Well, great question. Many would argue no. Like, even back when I used to race EWS, I would use just the cheapo metal cages because the tracks were so rough, you'd lose bottles all the time. And the metal cages, I'd actually just squeeze really tight, so the bottle would never come out, so you didn't lose any water bottles.
That is a downgrade. That is worth it.
It is a downgrade, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay, another one I was thinking of, and this is controversial. It's a big one.
Who are we going to annoy? Right now?
No one. But electronic shenanigans. Electronic shenanigans are a massive thing. I'll be a bit more specific than shenanigans. We've got like obviously gearing, suspension, integrated tech, droppers. You know, like everything seems to be getting the old electric treatment at the moment. And it works great. And for a certain rider, I think is very good. You know, if you're very competitive, you're competing at a certain level, or you want all the advantages. But as a general upgrade.
So obviously quite a few of the presenters here are really enjoying SRAM Axis at the moment, and that can be 1,200 to just over £2,000 if you're buying an entire drivetrain for your bike. If you already have a drivetrain that doesn't need replacing, you could argue that maybe a set of wheels might give you a better...
certainly. Or like even a bike service.
Yeah, but I've got to say, top tier drivetrains, are you really choosing XT for your race bike, or are you going top level? You know you are.
No, that's it. But that's something. If I was to go, you know, on one of these, another mad race or epic or something that GM is going to send me on, then I probably am going to go for top level parts, because I know that they will generally work faultlessly for the entire time, and you do need that. However, weekend warrior, and he's like, ooh, I need
Yeah.
I've got a couple of K in my pocket.
The occasional race, is it worth it for that person?
And that's where I think the waters muddy a little.
It does indeed. Yeah, I agree. And maybe we should ask the viewers on this, whether they think that upgrade is worth it. I think the whole suspension thing, I think we need to see more of that come through into the market, like the whole flight attendant thing. That might, I mean, it does add about £1,000 to your bike, which might not be in everyone's price range. But if it is in your price range and it suddenly takes the complexity of setting your suspension up, for example, that might be a great upgrade for the majority of the public out there. But I do want to know what our viewers think. Shall we ask them? Are there some upgrades out there that you think are just not worth it? Or maybe there's a downgrade out there that we haven't mentioned that definitely is worth it. I'm a big fan of downgrading to an aluminium bar. Maybe selling it and use the money for something else. But you let me know what you think down in the comments below. So, in the news, Crank Brothers have released a new dropper, or at least a updated Gen 2 of their Highline premium dropper. Check this out on screen. They have this new lighter action, which is always nice. They've also got this new concave paddle with a silicone pad, which will come in a couple of colours. But the big news is they've got this sort of new, sort of almost like a ball joint action, which means that you can rotate it 360 degrees if you want to, and it's also got 22 degrees of lateral movement. So for $69 US, that is a nice little upgrade, perhaps.
Yeah, I like it. So if you've got slippery thumbs which are made of polystyrene, you can still push it.
Yes, you can.
Bang on.
Absolutely. But also, I like the way that they've added the new sort of, you've got the MMX for SRAM and the iSpec for Shimano, and then you can just ergonomically move it around on your bike.
Yeah, that's cool.
Good.
I do like that you can sort of morph things together on your handlebars for a cleaner cockpit. Do you know what's next up?
What's that?
A limited edition Cane Creek Helm Galaxy. Yes, people.
Yeah.
Limited run of this new fork in its Galaxy colorway. It's got what's said here as a holographic ultraviolet glitter, giving off a colour-changing rainbow effect.
Oh, man. That is a feast for the eyes, isn't it? And then
Behold.
reflective stickers as well.
Yeah, right. Available in 29-inch, 44mm offset with travel-adjustable air spring or the helm coil, both preset at 160mm. That's a very cool fork.
So over in the world of Paik, that's how you pronounce it, but you may know it as Pole, P-O-L-E. Paik are releasing, or it's a sort of 10th anniversary special on their range, in that they're separating two models. They've got a gravity and a trail frame, which you can buy in either motor or non-motorized versions.
That's cool.
And then you can build it up with different kits. So for example, the Oni, which is the non-motorized downhill bike, you can build up as a enduro bike with 12-speed and single crown forks, or you can build it up with 7-speed downhill group set and triple crown forks, or you can buy the frame and build it up with both and have two bikes in one. Or in fact, you could have 3 bikes in one, because they're saying you can put long travel on there and make a downduro bike, which I believe is like a super enduro long travel bike, effectively. So yeah, that's what we're calling it now.
Downduro?
Downduro.
Get on.
Downhill enduro.
I'm not saying that.
So you can effectively buy one frame with 3 adaptations to it, which I think is quite nice.
That's cool. It's kind of future-proofing at the same time, isn't it?
I like
that
it a lot.
But Downduro can go do one. It is time for the quiz, people. Now, Anna has got some very good questions for us. Fire away, Anna.
So when was Orbea founded? Do you know this one?
A while ago.
It's a very long time ago, actually.
Nailed it.
What country were Orbea founded in?
Not England.
Definitely not.
Oh,
no.
2 for 2.
Don't ruin it.
Okay.
Shh. And what did they originally produce before mountain bikes?
Spaghetti bolognese.
It was not that. I'll let you have that. Let us know down in the comments below what your answers are, and we'll find out at the end of the show. Okay, it's comments time from you lovely people. And last week, Rich, we were talking about David Campos winning the European Championships on a fully rigid bike. And we were wondering if maybe that's a downgrade that is worth it. Who knows? What are you saying? Because you've got the Alma, haven't you, with the rigid forks?
Yeah, I've had it with both. Ooh.
Question, is the Alma with rigid forks the same as the gravel bike Orbea? Because you recently rode that with in GCM, didn't you?
Gravel bikes. The show is not long enough for this, Anna.
Oh, okay.
This is a whole...
This is another topic.
PTSD's come back. I can't take it anymore.
Well, anyway, so we rudely called it a flat bar gravel bike. And 2001 MBK Booster says, I own a Landy Yachts, I have no idea what that is, hardtail that I quickly switch back and forth from a rigid to a 130mm suspension fork. It is not a flat bar gravel bike, he says. And also he points out that more than half of the competitors in this year's Tour Divide, a 4,000 kilometre mountain bike race, actually tackled it with rigid bikes. I mean, that's tough.
Yeah, right.
But the Tour Divide is quite
brutal no matter what, isn't it?
Gravelly,
yeah,
I would say.
Horses for courses, right?
Yeah, I know.
Horses for courses. So I guess if the rigid was quicker, and which it was because you won, then correct decision made. Jason Kroll, 2735. If it won a World Cup XC race, it's an XC bike. Can he do it with drop bars? Is that allowed? Like to see the outcome of that.
Yeah, interesting. So the UCI did ban drop bar handlebars in cross-country racing. So no, it's not allowed. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see if you could ride a gravel bike on a World Cup course. That would be nice.
Yeah,
I'd like to see you do Val de Sol.
Oh, damn.
On a gravel bike.
Trying to kill me.
So Floyd Blanston said, I turned my XC Racer daughter's first quality hardtail into a rigid 69er single speed with a carbon bar and low pressure tyres when she upgraded. It's still her favourite for smooth, fast, flowy trails. I love that. I always wanted a Trek 69er.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a good bike.
Fair dues. Where are we next? El Hesh. Can hear my teeth smashing together just looking at that Orbea. I agree with all the points they made RE short track, but I just like a bit of travelling at XC race. Yeah, you and me both, buddy. You and me both.
My final comment's actually from Floyd Blanston again. I didn't realise. Sorry, you're getting all the love today.
Yeah, right.
But you said Lance won Leadville with drops, and I had to look into this. So I do remember him winning Leadville, but he did win it on flat bars with front suspension, SOS. But Canadian multiple 24-hour world champion did do it on a gravel bike with full suspension. So, yeah, interesting downgrade.
It can be done.
Gross, though. Right, Rich. I've got a bike cave for you, and you're going to love this one, because I know you're a fan of building stuff, aren't you? You like doing up your houses and stuff.
I do.
Do you have a workshop yet?
I do.
Do you?
Well, as in, I have the space, I have a workshop outline, as in I've got a double garage and then the workshop on the side, which I need to make a pain cave.
Well,
watch out.
Check this out for inspiration, because I absolutely love this. It is from Maximilian in Edinburgh, and he's built this shed himself and put the workshop in it. He's actually built a sort of a curved perspex roof on top of that, so that he gets all the light he can possibly get into a tiny space. And he says in that tiny space he can get 3 bikes and a motorbike on the hooks. All of his gear is in
oh my god, look at that. That's well cool.
All of his gear is sort of on hooks and in like nice little sort of tucked away.
I like it. All very integrated, isn't it?
And this workbench here actually folds up into no space at all, which is amazing.
No way.
And as if that wasn't a good enough build himself, he's also built a Bluetooth speaker made out of an old repurposed ammo tin.
Yeah, you can check that That's well good. I am all for like the recycling and repurposing. That's the table all folded up.
I know, it's like,
do you know what it looks
couple
like?
Of inches.
It looks like one of those like things.
Those fancy horse boxes that people turn into
like back in a
tiny.
Western. He's literally like parked up his horse and cart right there and turned it into a workshop. But I've got a lot of love for that, Maximilian.
I love that. Absolutely love that.
Yeah, look, there's the motorbike crammed in there. I mean, it works, and it's really light. I mean, I'm not going to go take the roof off my garage, I'll be honest.
No, and he does say that he could do with a gazebo for when the weather is terrible.
Of course, because it's quite cosy to work in it.
Yeah, but so far,
I like it.
I absolutely love that. If you've got a bike cave that you want to share with us, then the uploader link is down below, and we'd love to see them, wouldn't we, Rich?
Always. Yeah, I need all the inspiration I can get. I'd like to see them, so do send them in. Anna. Anna. What
Tell me.
are our wondrous quiz answers today?
The moment you've all been waiting for.
I have.
So when was Orbea founded? It was in 1840.
Holy moly, I didn't know that.
Can you believe that? It was founded in the Basque Country in Spain, and actually they started with rifles and gun production, so that's probably why it was so early on. Although that seems crazy that they moved into bikes, but as we know it, bikes didn't start off carbon, did they?
No.
Metal.
They sure
back
did.
then.
But they're sure making some pretty fine weaponry now.
Anyway, so and they did get into bikes quite early on. So they did actually send a Spanish rider off to the Tour de France in 1934. So they have been at the very forefront of making bikes. Anyway,
good one, interesting.
Yeah, so that is our show for today.
Sad.
Yeah,
it's come to an end so soon.
I know.
Maybe I'll come on next week.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. You never know.
Maybe you can just sit in the back while
just chill
while the adults chat. Yeah. But don't forget to upload some content for us. We've got Rewind, Top Mods, and Bike Caves, and join in the comments below with the argument of any upgrades that aren't worth it or downgrades that are worth it. I want to hear about it. And we'll see you next week. Bye.